want to go for the Benedetta ban, or actually it's Keto ban, but they went for Benedetta. So it's Glue and Benedetta, 2 bans towards Aran. Are they possibly eyeing at a Paquito pick to deny Aran his usual style?
If they put the Paquito in the hands of Boots, I mean, finally we're going to see this man have the chance, have the opportunity to really flex his muscles in the laning phase, not only just showing his macro, team fight knowledge. They do have the first pick, so we'll go for, let's assume that happens, or we'll have to have a plan G right here if it is taken away, which it definitely is.
Good combo, Paquito being picked by Coach Ari. Now Aura, what do they respond with, especially in the EXP laner? I would probably leaning towards something along the lines of Tarijla just to set up for Kabuki to be able to execute that Blazing Duet quite freely, especially when you have Minotaur on the other side and Fredrin. A lot of CCs to take care of. I'm
thinking more X-Board up against the Minotaur, up against the Fredrin. Tanky members are probably going to go for, I'm not sure about the last pick for Onic, but yeah, Novaria and X-Board would be pretty solid. They would have a lot of kite, they would have a lot of tanky members, beefy too, and range.
Definitely in line with what they have shown so far here with their composition. Gives them a good all-in potential as well, and ways to really zone away Onic during those critical moments. But no, none of the above, Mirko. It's gonna be the Valentina and that Ruby. So more crowd control and chances to steal away a massive ultimate. Right now, just the Minion Fury, I would think. But there's one more pick from Onic, and it's usually the most surprising one in the hands of Sans.
What's surprising here? I think the standard pick should be Novaria, I guess, but...
Oh, that's...
Oh, that would be good. But
that's...
But the Valentina could steal it. If they dive, it would be...
I mean, they already have Minotaur, so adding all that doesn't really matter for me because it's already a good ultimate two together.
Yeah, they could overwhelm him with big ultimates, but... might be too risky to pick up the Odette. Something safe would be Lilia, right?
Yep, that's it.
Never mind, we don't do safe.
We don't do safe at all.
Okay, so the only possible threat for Sans here, I think it's going to be Kabuki. He has to watch out for Kabuki first before going for that Mystic Gush. Rashi, what's your thought?
Before that, I have a question, Rashi. Ruby, first time for Aran in the XP. We know he's crazy with it, he's the first guy to go full damage Lethal Ignition Benedetta. Are we gonna see a full damage Ruby in the XP lane?
Nah.
I don't know. I feel like it must be some kind of semi-build for sure. They do have a Barats and a Mathilda, so technically if they want to go for that, they do have the tankiness already available that's filled in by the other heroes. So it's a possibility, but I don't feel like that full damage Assassin Ruby will bring that much value as compared to a tanky, sustainable, reapplying crowd control Ruby.
Yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Two teams has already picked their lineup. It's the battle of the Dwellers of the Sky. Will the sky turn red or yellow? In MPL Indonesia Season 13, it's Onic versus Aura.
4-0 is what Onic are looking for. Still untouchable this season. Though I do have another question here. Sorry to overload you guys with questions, but in this matchup, XP, you're an XP laner, Chefin. Ruby versus Paquito, how does that go?
I think in early game, obviously Paquito gonna wreak some havoc, especially the damage trait is gonna favor Paquito more than Ruby, but the later the game goes, you rack up those defensive items and also a little bit of life steal. I don't think Ruby is in no danger at all when it comes to 1v1 against Paquito.
Ooh, I don't wanna wait for a bit before you make that call, Shevin, because Aran just got beat down. In the lane, the Paquito is going to be so dangerous. With the Quantum Charge, though, he'll get a bit of sustain, and he's going to be a lot more mobile than the Ruby. So the roam game is what I'm looking at, as Yawi just gets chunked down. That's a Paquito threat that Onic will definitely try and use while they have it.
Yawi, a bit of a outside of his comfort zone, I would say. He's used to these pick-off heroes, those Kajas, those Chao, and this time, it's a Mathilda. It's going to enable his teammate to be able to get those objectives and also kills. Harry a bit aggressive here against Yawi, forces the recall.
Looking at the emblems though, like almost exact same. In the jungle it's the exact same, but in the EXP lane, you see the Quantum Charge against the Brave Smite, so tankiness for that movement speed. So I assume Boots will be playing a bit more craftily, moving around the sides, instead of just going all in the front line. And in the gold lane, it's Kabuki with a bit of tankiness and the tenacity, and Albert going for more attack speed, more damage as well, 1v1. So Albert's showing his signature aggressive style.
Look at this, the setup towards the turtle. I think Aura already has something in mind, has the bushes covered by Yawi and Yeskiel, but Gugun and Kyrie actually goes for Thriller, Ashi. What's your thought on that?
Just want to get fast clear, and in this condition, in this matchup right here, where both want to try and contest for the neutral objective, having a faster clear is definitely a big factor, but also the control here, and Onic definitely has more card control in the early stages.
Two-man taunt from Kyrie, who jumps in his fury as well. But it will be secured by Gugun, using the detonus welcome now. Only now does he use it to try to look for an initiation or to counter it. Onic concede.
Oh, how cheeky that is, Arashi. Yes. Minotaur hasn't had the level 4 yet, but Yeskiel already had the Minotaur locked on.
That's just impudence coming in from Aura, and it's great to see that they're not buckling under the pressure here, going up against the favorites for this matchup. Oh, taking the talent prediction by Samsung Galaxy. We know what's going on with Mirko, but hey, for the most part, I mean, over there, Lim Kochul is with you on the Indonesian desk, Mirko.
Yeah, it's just me and Lim. Or actually Lim alone. Really depends on how you see it, right?
Right.
Very, very convenient. So first total already secured by Aura. Very good, very positive early game so far, but it's only 300k. I mean, 300 gold.
Still definitely a minor gold advantage. But considering the fact that Aura did get the turtle, it seems like Onic is keeping up in farm and clear speed. So that is something that Aura definitely have to take in consideration. He can be winning, but is it enough? Whoa!
Wow, Detonus welcome onto Keyboy. That's the roamer. Pinned down. Now it's a Mystic Gush onto the Minus Fury. We're going to be on to double. He's going to win from Kabuki in the back. Just wreaking havoc. Finds an Appraiser's Wrath. Gets a bit of HP back. It's only a 1-for-0 traded. And it's Gugun who falls. Onic win out.
But that looks so good for Aura, Arashi. What happened there?
Well, the fact that they were the ones pulling the trigger on the play means that they have less crowd control tools to really try and win out in the fight, because they had to spend some to really get the cash in the first place. For Onic, it's the exact opposite. They layer everything perfectly, and they know who they're going for, and they have a lot more burst damage at their disposal. The Gord against the Valentina, we're seeing it again.
Purify, the Master Assassin, doing work. Kabuki trying to sustain back in this lane.
Master Assassin doing work, but also Tenacity from Kabuki also doing work. Seems like he knows that he's going to be the prime target for Onic, especially Keyboy had those knockups. You can't really escape those knockups when you're trying to go in for Kabuki. Second turtle, Yawi dragging the turtle.
I feel like for Onic, they are very happy to go for those pickoffs, go for those counter engages like that, you know? You get caught with one crowd control tool, you never know when the rest of the team are going to follow up on it. For Aura, it's the exact opposite. They have to try and find a really favorable fight and, you know, feint, move back and forth a bit in order to bait out some of these spells using the Mathilda. One of the power picks they prioritize, picking it first.
Oh, Gugun, or to use the Detonus welcome. Kyrie steals it away from under his feet. Gugun now stunned up and a Mystic Projectile and a Mystic Gush to win damage as he flickers out safety as Aran tries to dive into the back. Kyrie brought back to the team by Gugun with the missiles now as Kyrie will be taken out. Boots looking for an angle. Aran, the Aran Wolf King stopping him in his tracks. And Onic will back away. They will take that trade. Not for long. The Aura are actually going to be the ones walking up. Knockout strike to knock Yawi out. Aran jumping in all the way under the turret. Gugun here backing him up onto Keyboy. Will try to look for more, but in the end they will be forced to back away. And Onic get an amazing double Mystic Projectile. Gush again from Suns.
The highlights just pouring on over and over again. Aura thought they had a sandwich, but it looks like it's going to be a knuckle sandwich for Boots. Oof. Oh man.
We have time to process.
Those micros.
We're getting up
to get back into the game. And looks like, is it still the same?
Yep.
I believe.
Still pretty same. Yeah, I don't think anything big has happened just yet. I want to call some attention to the battle spells though, because Aura does have Kabuki on the Purify. That's the same for Onic, and they don't have a Mathilda either. So Onic is doubling down, just standing their ground and trying to beat out in damage output with the true damage coming in from the Gord and the carry. But if Albert gets caught here, which happens due to his aggressive nature, that could be this window of opportunity that Aura could be looking for, especially with Yawi facilitating it.
Look at that. Radiant Armor first item for Soul. What's going to happen here?
The projectile and the Gush. A good guiding win from Yawi though prevents the dive from happening. Albert dealing a whole lot of damage onto that turret, sieging it down real quick, and Ron is already down to a quarter of his HP again. Chunked down. Still able to sustain back up. Gugun on the turtle. Onic doing the same thing. Suns barely getting out of those missiles from bringing him back. Harry's holding on to the turtle right now as Gugun is still one level ahead. Circling Eagle over to Keyboy, knocks him up. That's in his welcome. Beats up Kyrie and the retribution should be there. Gugun finds it. Keyboy very low, so able to jump out. Mystic Gush and he appraises Wrath. Comes down, but Aura, they just back up. Kabuki is in the midst of it all, gets knocked up by Kai. Pops in that Purify, and Yaoi will be flickering out to safety. A turtle traded in again. This time, no kills.
Wow, 2-1 so far for Gugun, but oh, that was so unfortunate, man. Arashi, if Kabuki was fast enough to press that Purify, things could have been way more south for Onic.
I mean, it's already pretty south, man. They lost the neutral objective, and they did, I guess, trade it now. The turrets in the bottom and top side, but Aura got a turret in the middle of all that, because they did go for a big swap. They put Kabuki alone on the other side, just farming, and so Aran was already faster to rotate, to be present in the fight. And especially early on, 8 minutes, the fighters actually have a lot more impact, a lot more things to say.
My God.
And Boost trying to save his turret, will be successful in doing so. But man, Kabuki now has that power spike. He has the golden staff and the Demon Hunter sword. So he's going to be outputting a lot more damage than Onic can just ignore. Especially because Kyrie has been taken very low in towards the mid to end phase of all these fights.
Audience prediction still as strong as ever, 80% for Onic. I mean, we've seen a lot of times where Onic were in the back foot and somehow, some way they still won the game with like one crazy engage from Keyboy. A lot of times actually internationals or national level competition. And that's why it's 80-20, Mirko.
For sure. Onic are definitely still the favorites here. Even though early on they are losing the neutral objective game, they're still up ahead here in terms of kills and the gold lead. Also still favoring them. So Albert's been farming really well. But really, when it comes to gold, who's holding most of it for Onic, Arashi?
For Onic? I feel like it's a bit more spread out, actually. I think we have to wait till we see the charts to know for sure. I think for now, a lot of it is still being given to Albert, knowing that he has to scale toward the late game. But
Boots! Whoa! Flask of the Oasis right there to save Kabuki. That would have been crazy. An assassination of Kabuki up top. He had to use his Purify, and that's a green light for Onic to go for the Lord.
Boots is still up top. This might be the chance for retaliation, but Gugun might be a bit overstanding here. We're already eyeing for a opening.
I feel like whoever goes for the other team first instead of the neutral objective will come out on top right here. We're seeing a big battle between counter engages, mainly facilitated by the Minyu and Fury coming from Kibo and Yehezkiel. So I feel like one of these days, one of these teams are going to just jump straight onto the jungler and try and get an instant pickoff before the fight even begins.
I think so far, Sunset's Boots, the only thing that's in their mind is how to chunk up Kabuki's HP, because they're not going out of their bush to deal damage to all the frontliners around in Gugun. Look at that. Right on cue.
What a menace. Boots with the assassination potential right here, but oh, Keyboy gets very, very close. Look at Boots though. He is swishy, so he needs to be a bit more careful here.
Knockout strike 2 times onto Aran. Gets him low. The guiding wind still there to grant him a bit of HP back. 10k HP on the Lord. 8k now down. Boots dumped into the back, trying to zone. Guiding wind and circling Eagle from Yaoi to get out. Gugun now in the midst of it all. Keyboy is the one who secures it. Yehezkiel goes in for an attempted steal with a stolen Minion's Fury out of the 2 junglers. It's Keyboy.
I mean, that's what happens if there's too much CC around the map. It's gonna, like, someone's gonna steal it from the junglers.
I mean, when you time the cloud control so well, so perfectly, and when the margin of error is 20 HP, you can bet a lot of money that the roamers will be able to sneak some of these neutral objectives away. Oh man. Now, for the most part, to answer your question, Mirko, Boots has the gold advantage. He's going for full physical defense, man. Dominance Ice and a Blade Armor, trying to counter Kabuki, one of the main reliable damage output sources. And only with a Hunter Strike, he's able to zone everyone away. And that adaptation really allows them to get control there, but he's fighting now on the bottom side.
Oh, what's gonna happen?
Onto Boots 2v1. Boots gets the shielding, dashes away right now. Kabuki tries to chase him, but he leaves the turret up top to be defended by only
no.
Gugun. Mystic
Whoa.
Gush on the Yehez skill, who's stolen away. The Minion Fury, Gugun's 1 HP, and they don't even want to go for him. They know there's a Flask of the Oasis. They get a turret with a First Lord, and they're going to siege even more. Boots is playing the way Oran does on the Paquito.
The margin, Sarashi, once again, it's not just objective fights, it's also when there's a team fight. Just 1 HP, that's literally 1 for Gugun.
Oof, man, Gugun just had no way out right there. That is the pickup potential we've been talking about. The single target focus damage that Onic has at their disposal. Now with Keyboy securing the Flash of the Oasis as well, the team fights are going to get even more difficult. That is before they can even deal with Boots right here. Usually we see Boots, or we see Paquitos who are trying to go for a split push mentality, go for a sprint to try and get a lot more value, a lot shorter cooldown on the battle spell. But he's also making plays in the team fights. That is why he's using that flicker, and he's been doing great.
He really has. Boots has been doing even better. Kabuki gets chunked to half HP, and Boots knows that that's all he wants to do. He just wants to chunk Kabuki right before these team fights, these skirmishes are on with a Sea Halberd.
Yep. All right, so he has a War Axe and Sea Halberd and a Brute Force Breastplate. So movement speed, stacking it up, and also going for a lot of damage here. He might be the one that's sent over to try and deal or zone with Sans right here.
I mean, I'm on board, man, because so far Kabuki is not present at all in the team fight. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But I probably would expect Sans to be with... Oh my goodness gracious.
He's trying to take it away, certainly, with that Mystic Projectile and Gush.
I think so. That's the on potential you have on the Gourd. That's what allows these Gourd to really rise in popularity. The fact that you can have good wave clear, safe wave clear, because you can leave the Mystic field there, but
So
also
annoying.
have a lot of ways to go for a catch, a pickoff, and still output a lot of damage in AoE fashion in the later stage of the game. Now with Onic controlling the Lord Pit, I think Aura will have to try and find a way in now. It's going to be a lot more difficult.
Boots. He's waiting for Kabuki, jumps in right now. Does the Wind of Nature get popped? No, it's only the Guiding Wind right now for Yaoi. Albert walks up, Aran gets assassinated, one more hit! Aran flickers out to safety just in time, barely. And they chunked Aura enough to maybe go for the Lord for free. Gugun is in no position to contest. Sans pops in that Mystic Gush to zone him away. Perfect execution of this Lord take for the Sky Kings.
We've talked about this, Arashi, the killer mentality, the difference of Albert and CW. Just, there you go, that's it.
I mean, that was just layers and layers of play from Onic. The fact that Boots was able to make everyone panic because they thought that, oh, Kabuki's gonna pick off. Before you know it, Aran is the next target. Now Gugun.
Oh,
Retribution, Mystic Gush. There's a Guiding Wind to grant him to safety. Now we take a look at the items.
Oof. Onic just not letting Aura breathe at all. Sans is going for the double wand build here, along with the Enchanted Talisman, so a lot of cooldown already available. He's just trying to spam it out, and even if you don't get hit by the Mystic Projectile, if you get slowed just a bit, the whole roster of Onic have a lot of catch-up potential.
Circling Eagle onto the back, Kyrie with the taunt. Trying to siege this down, Albert free hitting, will be able to take this turret down as 2 base turrets. And Lord still up top. Yehezkiel's been tanking it now. Finally, Gugun takes the aggro, clears it out. Minion wave in the mid lane, still super minions coming down. Aran getting caught in the Mystic Projectile, taunted up, and now still caught in the Mystic Gush for such a long time. Kyrie gets eaten now, spat back out. Mini Fury onto the back by Keyboy. But Yehezkiel doing the same thing, not enough damage to follow it up. Though Kabuki's already so low. Boots assassinates him in the back, and Albert executes the game plan. Now it's Kabuki who pops in a blazing duet. Not enough damage. Sans is still at half HP. Albert is healing back. Kabuki, Battle Mirror Image in front. Albert jumping forward. Mystic Gush. Oh, he tried to predict the Battle Mirror Image, but Kabuki is still able to defend. Dodges away from the Mystic Projectile. Sans needs to find an angle. He gets it. The glowing wand is ticking on, and the Mystic Projectile has to be dodged away by Kabuki with the Battle Mirror Image. Now with Sans, who is sieging down the mid base turret. He finds it. He doesn't get the Mystic Projectile though. And Aura defend 60 minutes in.
Have you ever seen this? It's a 1v1 base battle between a mid laner and a gold laner, Sans. That was like, I would say, one step further, like one step too much. Predicting that Mystic Projectile, he should have gone for it, man. He shouldn't have predicted it.
The fact that Onic even went for the end there, kind of, to try and get the kill onto Kabuki, is surprising enough for me. Because usually you see a more decisive, a more disciplined Onic, but they're like, okay, you know, the waves are not available, but we'll get you somehow. It's almost like Albert influenced the rest of the team to go in with that killer instinct. Wow.
Man, the base turret is gone for Aura, but look at the gold. Before this, it was like 7.6k. Now it's 4.2k. So,
Oh no!
Oh my goodness gracious!
He can't keep getting away with this, man.
Yeah.
That's the third time in this game. He keeps getting it done. And that is the big factor here. The difference in magic damage output between Yehezkiel and Sans, and from how far. For the most part, if you look at the itemization, even Boots only now has the final item being an Oracle, right? He was building physical defense for the longest time, knowing that Yehezkiel has to pick up the Minion Fury instead of higher damage spells in these fights. The same can't be said for Aura, just like that, the zoning ultimate from Sans.
And also, just to add to that, Arashi, I believe Yehezkiel actually prioritized the anti-regen item instead of penetration, so no threat at all for the frontliner of Onic in terms of like magic damage. They can stack up the physical damage item or like physical defense item as much as he can.
Well, I think the first item, at least for the Valentina, was the Lightning Truncheon. But again, how close can you get to the backline of Onic to output that damage? It doesn't seem like Onic, especially Sans and Albert, are too concerned about it. Sans now has the Winter Truncheon, but I believe that's not really made to try and deal with, you know, with the burst potential. It's more about trying to avoid the Blazing Duet maybe, or Aran just jumping in, trying to burst him down.
How do you defend this? How do you defend this against Sans and Albert?
Boots is still looking for an angle to fight. Aran trying to hold Keyboy down. They're actually doing a good amount of damage. Yehezkiel, what? All the way in the front, gets baited in by Sans. And he falls before Onic even looked for a full team fight. Kyrie in the front now, holding around down. A Mystic Gush dodged away from Kabuki. He's taking a whole lot of damage from that, though. Jumps back to the Battle Mirror image. They have been able to defend right now as Aran gets taunted up. The guiding wind is there, but Aran doesn't go for it just yet. Aim offended to lock Boots down. Kabuki on a killing spree this time round. On a Fraser scratch to the back. Now it's a Winter Truncheon by Gugud. The Minus Fury, but they stay objective. They target the base down, and they secure game number 1.
What a game! What a game! I'm already excited for game number 2. It looks like it was a silent domination, at least until the late game for Onic. They're not really dominating in terms of kills, but they know they have to choke Aura little by little. The gold lead piled up, and finally, just insanity.